Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Galactic Civilizations 2, which will from now on be referred to as Galciv 2. Last time we just turned the game on basically, so let's finally click the end turn button, see what happens. Right, and this is what we get after everything. That does tell us nice and simply what happened, and colony ship 30 was completed. So, two options of course. Can take this colony ship. And wait, firstly we have to go, this is the ship's in orbit, so it's going to protect the planet. It can't, there's no weapons, but you have to get a launch. It's going to take 250 population, it's probably 250,000 or million population, 250,000 obviously. Maybe a million? I don't know. The numbers always confuse me because it's like 1 credit is the 1 billion credits is the lowest possible like number. Two options, we can just go straight for Mars, or we can maybe... We zoom in here, there are a number of different star systems nearby we can explore. No habitable planets around Calibris, so let's go in that direction. Okay, Boulder 5, so there's at least 4 other planets in the Boulder system. Hopefully one of them is habitable. One of them is habitable. And it's Boulder 1, a Class 6. Class 6, I don't know. Well, we can go straight for a second colony ship, which I think I'll... give me one moment. Let's check the domestic stats. No, it's the Civilization Manager, colonies. Right, August 4, a new colony loses 14 billion credits a turn. Earth only makes 19. And frankly, it's going to lose more before it gains more. Because every hammer that you get, and each of these factories produces 4, I think costs 1 credit, or 1 billion credits. So yeah, and of course it's based on the population, which, you know, it's going to increase a bit, but not massively, because population increases based on your approval rating, which isn't high right now, because I'm taxing the bejesus out of them. So basically, I don't know if we can support another 2 colonies immediately. Certainly not if I don't have a good treasury in which to draw from. So maybe we're going to pass up Boulder 6 just for now. And head towards the next star. Ooh, weaponry up 1%. That is going to make sod all difference until I actually have... Well, I don't know if it rounds up. If it doesn't round up, then we have to have 100 weapon strength on a ship, which is a hell of a lot, by the way, before that's going to change. Incidentally, look at all the story from every single... Almost every single tech has a massive story like that. You can actually learn the history of a civilization by getting all of the like civilization unique techs. So for humans, it will be, I think it's like Xeno Business, and maybe it's these ones. No. Well, I know a history of extremes, and that's definitely a human one. I'm not sure there are that many human only techs. We're quite a generic race, really. We do a lot of talking as well. I suppose things like Industrial Revolution and into history, if there's some way to read those, that definitely be in there. But that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is research planetary improvements, which gives us plus 10% to social production, military production, and research, which is a good start. Communications, we're going to go for the second we meet somebody, though, which should hopefully be soon, because I'd like to get trading, because that is what we're good at. We'll have a bit of a bonus when it comes to the trading. Oh, there's a class 11 there. You ever get toxic production? That's what we're going for. Oh, it's a class 19! Holy crap, I really want barren world production, barren world colonization. Class 19, good lord. That's a lucky find, but we're never going to be able to use it. Well, not for a good while anyway. Can I change to spaceman? I could. Yeah, not going to, but I could. Our survey team has discovered an abandoned colony ship, but it is not operational. There is no sign of life. But we did find a stockpile of goods which we've auctioned off at 1,000 billion credits, so a trillion, an American trillion credits. I'm not sure if anybody uses the non-American billion anymore, trillion. Is that... Yeah, maybe it is always a trillion for that. Because I know an English billion is technically a million millions as opposed to 1,000, but nobody actually uses that anymore. There was a massive thing a while ago when people were trying to figure out how much debt our country was in, and it was like, well, we're in like There's this many billions of debt, and we're like, is that an English billion? Oh, no, it's an American billion. Oh, thank God, we're like 100 times better off than we thought we were. And the thing is, it didn't even make a difference, because nobody understands numbers that big. As soon as you start talking about billions, it really doesn't matter if you're talking about an American or a British billion. It's about the fact there's like 100 times different or 1,000 times different, or some ridiculous amount of difference. You can't tell if that actually makes a difference. It's ridiculous. Now, come on, explore planets. Talking about bleeding politics here, it's going to get me in trouble. Explore planets, kill aliens. That's not controversial. Except to the aliens. One habitable planet, let's try and find it. Oh my God, come on, a heavy... We're getting like one of every type of bad planet. I mean, they're all good, but, you know, well, except that class 7 radioactive, that's barely worth it. But, yeah, it's going to be, well, 1% of the soldiers, that's nice. Oh, and apparently... our range does in fact stretch to the outer edges of this cluster over here. So we might actually be able to colonise over there without needing a range upgrade. Interesting. Don't know if we want to, though. Don't know if we want to, because it'd be tricky to defend anything over there. So it's quite a journey, you see. Logistics are quite an important part of this game. No habitable planets. I thought blind exploration... Did I turn blind exploration on? Shouldn't that have stopped me doing exactly this? Another factory on Earth is completed, and somehow we're still making a considerable... well, a reasonable profit right now. Everything else is building a lot faster because, well, all the extra social production, which is good. It's very good. Build me a... Ooh, did I accidentally cancel the colony ship? That's annoying. Should I buy it? How much does it cost to buy it? 1,000 or 9 weeks? Right now, all I know about is like one class 6, really. And of course Mars, which is class 4, which I'm going to want to pick up. It's not that good, but if somebody else picks it up, I am screwed. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to use it to explore. It's the fast colonization. That is always a very good way. It's a good, you know, it's good in like civilization or something, but it's really, really important in this because of the very limited amount of planets, particularly limited amount of good planets. I mean, you can argue that, the good spots in Civ always get picked up quickly. The difference between a good spot in Civ and a good spot in Gal Civ is in Gal Civ you're talking about, literally you can do twice as many things and, can put twice as many multipliers. And that's the important bit, because you can get ridiculously powerful planets when you have the multipliers in there. And, so a class 10 as opposed to class 20 isn't twice as good. It's like 4 times as good because of all the extra multipliers, so it's massively different. Just like a class 4 isn't half as good as a class 10, it's ridiculously terrible. Because the, a initial colony costs 10 billion credits on its own, and it takes forever to reach, even when the population's at max. I'm not sure exactly what it takes to turn a profit on one of those things. One habitable planet, let's have a look at it, please. Holy crap, planet class 29, heavy gravity. And there's another heavy gravity, it's a 30. Do we have any more? Oh, we might have to rush heavy gravity, guys. We might have to rush heavy gravity. Class 29, good grief. I can't look at it, but if I could, it'd just be like a massive page full of things. Because you have to be aware that there's 2 levels of colonization. There is, you are allowed to colonize heavy gravity, and there is heavy gravity works at 100%. Right at the start, it's like only 50% of normal, so it's not. They start off much worse, And they take a lot longer to get going. But sometimes they come in those ridiculously big things like class 29s, so it tends to be worth it in the long run to get them. Well, no, definitely is worth it in the long run, particularly once you pick up the thing that makes them equal to the rest of the things anyway. Surprised I haven't met anybody. It's kind of tricky at this early, of course, because sensor technology is very low. You can't... Oh! Ah, crap. The Dark Yaw. Not as bad as the Your Collective, because they're only a minor civilization. They will never, ever, ever expand beyond this one planet. But we could conquer that planet. People might be annoyed at that though. Probably just going to use them for trading partners. As soon as planetary improvements is completed, we're going to go and research the universal translators and then have a chat. And there's a class 10. Right, that'll do. Ooh, there's a class 21 radioactive there. Wasn't there another good radioactive one as well? Barren world, heavy gravity. Oh no, the radioactive was the bad one. But still, now there's a class 21 there we have to get. I swear I put it on occasional, bad planets, not hundreds of them. Reasonable planet. Okay, let's give them, what do we want to give them? Well, let's throw it out. Well, it's got the approval bonus, so maybe we want to just make this another... Yeah, let's just make this another plain economic planet. Now, I don't know mathematically there's a perfect balance between entertainment networks, market centres and farms. I don't know that balance, but there is one. I'm just going to put like maybe 4 market centres and... Actually, I haven't really got any farms yet. We'll research farms at some point. You. Actually, is another... No, only one habitable planet in the Dark Yor system. And you all have it. Nice class 15. Ooh. Who is that? Have we met them? Minor races? No. Okay, that's interesting. Well, there's definitely somebody down there. Though, I mean, it'd be ridiculous if there wasn't, I suppose. Sweet. Innovation. Complex, I think. Was it? Yeah, okay. A few options here. Advanced colonization. That's what it takes to get the other colonization techs. Incredibly expensive at the start. You don't want them at the start. Industrial theory is tempting. The extra social production lets you build things a bit faster, and it improves the traditional factory into a Xeno factory. You don't have to... If you've already built a traditional factory, you can upgrade it into a Xeno factory, or you just build the Xeno factory straight up from then on. So, very good for building planets faster. Yeah, but, no, not yet. Extra economics, eventually, yes, but right now we're going to want that Xeno communications, because we're going to want to start making trades early as possible, because that's where all our bonuses lie. So we're going to get very, very good trades. There's 2 habitable planets here. There's a class 11 toxic, so toxic is becoming more and more favourable. However, that class 10 will definitely do. Worth pointing out is pretty damn far away from everything else, and there's not really going to be any planets connecting them until we can pick up like that class 29, which I really hope we can do. Oh, it's heavy gravity. I'm trying to think. There are some races that start with ooh, there's a thing we want. Right, in 3 weeks we're going to change to can I add to a queue? No, maybe there's probably a queue, a way of queuing ships. I don't remember how to do it. Yeah, there's some way to do it. Anyway, yeah, this is an economic resource. We're going to want to build a constructor and go build a star base on it. It won't really give us much of a bonus yet, but it will stop other people taking it, and then we can build on it later. But yes, what I was saying before is there are certain races that start with advanced colonization techniques. I don't recall if there's one that lets them do heavy gravity though. Probably is, but I don't recall. Now this is one with a few different things. Looks like it's going to be a fairly balanced world. It's got a 100% manufacturing, which is a very, very, very nice one. We'll put a factory there, so it's 200% factory. Influence, we don't have the building for influence yet, but we're going to want that, particularly because it's out of the way, so we're going to want to be able to expand our influence a lot there. And food production, so we'll put a thing there later as well. Right now, why don't we put 3 factories, entertainment network, and then throw a starport down. This is going to be our, like I say, it's a bit out of the way, so we're going to want to be able to perhaps produce a couple of ships over there if the need arises. Yeah, it was only class 10, it was never going to be like, the greatest planet in our empire. but you know, that's so if you get like a class 29, you really do want to just absolutely focus. This is an industrial planet. Everything is just multipliers on industrial. The lower ones, you know, you either write them off as well, it's just an economic planet, just don't put anything that costs money there. Such as, you know, this one, which, how much money is it making? 7, because the population's tiny. We need a few, really what we need to do is we need to either drop the approval, drop the tax considerably. Net income minus 42. What? Oh, colony maintenance, yeah. Well, it's a good thing we have a lot of spare money for now. But, yeah. I forgot what I was saying, doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Unless it did. Probably didn't. Universal Translator, excellent. And now let us pick up the... We'll probably pick up the farm and then the government? No. We'll do... Ah, yes, it was... yeah, let's do the farm and then we'll do... Actually, let's do diplomatic relations, then we'll do the farm. So then we can start building the other basic structures on our planets. And now we have the Universal Translators. You wouldn't believe what I read in Torture Today magazine, but it's a long story. What's up? Yeah, dark or evil. The evil people in this game are really goddamn evil. And you notice they've already researched interstellar warfare, which is kind of it's surprisingly useful for us, because it has military production plus 10%, so that is faster colony ships, faster constructors, faster space miners. So we're probably going to want to try and pick that up. Will you trade it for the Universal Translator? You will. And I'm betting you'll also trade 136 billion credits for it, because we have incredible diplomacy, so we can just get ridiculous trades out of them. Remember in Civ, particularly Civ 5, oh god, Civ 5, you go to somebody, and if you're on like just, even like a tiny bit above normal, like just hard, you know, Prince, no, Noble, no, whichever one is the one above Noble, I think, or Warlord, look, whichever is the slightly above average one, it doesn't like improve the AI. All it does is you go to them and say, here is one of my, you know, luxury resources for one of yours. This will benefit us both equally. It's a good trade. And they will say, no, we want 3. No, frankly, no. That is incredibly biased and also not even helpful for them, because they don't get my resource, so they don't get that benefit. Honestly, it's terrible. Here, of course, it is based on stats, but at least the stats you can then work on, so you can be a diplomatic person. You just focus diplomacy, and that's how it works. So here we are, nice trade, Universal Translator for Interstellar Warfare, and a whole load of money. So now you can get all these treaties. Essentially, what happens is, if you can buy an economic treaty off them, 10% of their money will go to you. However, that doesn't actually mean they lose that 10%, it just means you get 10% of whatever they make. We're going to want this as soon as possible. Doubt I can possibly convince them right now. Yeah, you can't get treaties this early. A bit later on, however, as soon as I notice people are going for them, I'm going to pick up as many as possible, because they're really good and I can get them a lot cheaper than I otherwise would. Or maybe even talk them into doing a bit earlier. But we got the tech we wanted. So now we can build, yeah, colony ships a bit faster, constructors a bit faster. In theory, maybe, you know, maybe that 10% won't really do much yet. Was that a colony or a... Yeah, it was a colony. Right, let's head up to there. I'm going to want to continue exploring the last of my little cluster. Eventually we'll just send out normal scouts. And of course the flagship's doing its own thing, but it's just exploring empty space right now. I'm not entirely empty, there's an economic resource there, but it's mostly empty. Ooh, and it's now got 4 extra hit points, which is useless because it has no weapons, making it impossible for it to win a fight. But eventually maybe we'll retrofit it into something a little bit more effective. Well, eventually. It's going to be a long time till all the resources in the galaxy are disappeared. Into there, new. Alright, extra turn. Diplomatic relations is done. So now we pick up Xeno farms, and then we'll have all of the basic, most basic buildings that we can then improve upon. There'll still be a few other things that we'll want to build in various places, but that's most of it. So, hold on, don't build that market centre. you build diplomatic translators. These are what are called a trade good. Essentially, what a trade good is, it is a one-time thing that you can build, and it can then be traded. So I can use it as a way of they're like very, very valuable things. Anybody who I've traded this with will have the 25%. I will also have the 25%, and then that's really good. However, I cannot trade it and just keep the 25%, which is probably what I'm going to do with this one, because I don't want anybody else to have good diplomacy. But in the future, if it's, say, I manage to pick up one that gives extra hit points on a ship, sure, if I don't want to go to war with them anyway, so I can trade it to them to get some tax or money off them, and it's good. But I'm going to build it here because they are incredibly expensive to purchase straight out. 5,000 expensive. So yeah, can't do that. But I can build it, and this is probably can't imagine this not being my highest social production place. I can focus social production. It'll take, let's see, a lot of turns off. Oh no, yeah, it'll still take a lot of turns off that. But a lot of turns off that, and I don't really need more constructors. You know what? Screw the constructors. They're going to take a lot of money. Just build space miners. Don't need them as desperately, but the diplomatic translators we can pick up a little bit faster, so that's good. And then we wanted to go over here, make sure we build the influence building there. Yep, 15%, so it's going to be a 30% influence bonus. Which is good. It'll push out this blue thing, which theoretically means you can take over planets within the blue, but you can't really unless you super focus it, which I'm not going for. It's a very odd way of taking over a planet. You can do it. It's difficult, and if they declare war, you're screwed. So I don't personally go for it usually. But the bigger you get the blue, the more the more territory you have, which is useful for other things, practical reasons, but also the more you have, the more tourism you get. Right now I get 5. That's something. It's not much, but it's something. Okay, so thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll cut this one here, and I think we've done a pretty good start here. We picked up, let's see, we've got one planet there, we got I've got to trade with the Paulus next time. We'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4 planets and a colony ship going out. Good start. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.